2 months ago, the others and I escaped from the circus. And yet, when I opened my eyes, I was alone. I walked for a long time, hoping to find a phone booth to call my mother, but the police stopped me first. I took the opportunity to ask them for help. I told them I thought I was a missing person. The police searched their database and took me to the station. In the reflection of the glass, it was hard to see my former self again. I think I had ended up getting used to my jester-like appearance. Once at the station, they asked me questions about what had happened to me. They told me they had found my car, abandoned in front of an old building 7 months ago. I chose to tell them that I remembered nothing, not even my own name. They called my parents to tell them the news, and they came to the station. My mother burst into tears. I never thought the circus would change me so much. I could no longer bear to see my former self. I needed a change. Strangely enough, I had gotten used to my colorful avatar. Going back to my darker, edgier self just didn't feel right anymore. And I still held on to the hope that wearing the 3 colors that once defined me in the circus might, by some miracle, help others recognize me in the street. Yet, I knew such a chance belonged only to the realm of miracles. After a month, I moved back into my old apartment. My mother was hesitant about it, but I desperately needed the solitude to reconnect with myself. Now I find myself alone, without them, stripped of my bearings and any routines. Even if the circus was a prison, its prisoners were still human. Human beings with whom I had forged real bonds. I worry about the others. I can only hope they truly manage to escape. They are people like me, forced to relearn how to live, carrying our fractured minds, unable to speak of the circus to anyone without being dismissed as insane. And I miss them. I'm trying to piece together a normal life again, relearning how to eat, how to tame my anxieties, how to live with my solitude. For 2 months, I searched for them relentlessly. I changed all my usernames to Pomni and posted on every social network the names they might have chosen. Why were the names we had been given so common? I even reached out on Reddit, hoping someone might have heard of the game The Amazing Digital Circus. But it was all in vain. Not a single response. Then one day, a notification popped up on one of my YouTube videos from a user named JacksBoy52. I was overwhelmed, shocked, moved, a rush of emotions flooding me all at once. I quickly replied, hoping with all my heart that it was really him. I tried not to get too carried away, just in case it wasn't actually him. I hope I'm not cringe. Then he replied immediately. I promptly took a screenshot and deleted his comment. How reckless to do that on the internet. Bro, what the hell? I typed his number into my phone and hesitated for a moment before calling. Please, let it really be him, and not some creep hiding behind a screen. I heard the ringtone for a few seconds, until he answered. Neither of us said a word, before I finally took the first step. Hello? We talked through the entire night. Even though our exchange had been a bit hesitant at first, he told me how he discovered my channel. He had been searching small urban exploration YouTube channels for 2 months, sending the same message until he finally found mine. Then our conversation drifted from topic to topic, from everything to nothing. I fell asleep on the phone with him, feeling a serene calm. It was then that I learned his name, Felix. The next morning when I woke up, I saw a message from him. He asked if I wanted to meet in person and grab dinner together that evening. Without hesitation, I said yes right away. But a second later, a tiny bit of regret crept in. I wasn't ready, not in my head at least. Talking on the phone had been easy. I knew his voice, his tone. But face to face? What would I even say? How should I act? What should I wear? I spent the rest of the day restlessly pacing. My mind looped through 1,000 possible scenarios. Our reunion, the silence, the awkward pauses. Every 10 minutes I changed outfits again, never satisfied. I wanted what I wore to help him recognize me. In the end, I settled on a pair of overalls, a small nod to Jax, and a sweater in the colors of my old avatar. I gave myself one last look in the mirror, taking a deep, steadying breath. Every tiny hesitation felt magnified in my mind. Every detail of how I looked suddenly seemed so important. Then, finally, I gathered myself. Doubts aside, I just wanted to see him. Yesterday I learned he lived an hour away from me. Are the others nearby as well? At least it gave me hope of finding them. And now we would be two people searching together. I pulled out my phone and opened Google Maps to check the route to the restaurant. It was a 40-minute drive from my place. On the subway, about 10 minutes into the ride, I messaged him to let him know I was on my way. Though the nerves were still there, excitement had begun to take over. I was a little curious to see what he really looked like in person. Once I reached the city, night had already fallen. I made my way to the restaurant, following the directions on Google Maps. It had been ages since I'd done something like this with friends. Going out to eat, grabbing a drink, or just spending time together. Not far from the meeting spot, I caught myself trying to imagine what he might look like. It wasn't easy. All I could picture was that sly purple rabbit, and the only thing I knew would never change was his smile. Right then, I got a message from that bunny boy. He said he was already there. The only hint he gave me was that he was wearing a pink bomber jacket. I looked around, trying to spot someone who could be him. Then, under the glow of a streetlight, I saw him. He was there. And of course, he had purple hair. One hand in his pocket, the other holding his phone. Calm yet attentive, like he was looking for someone too. For a moment, I froze, unsure if I should move forward. All the scenarios I had imagined throughout the day collided in my mind. And yet, despite the whirlwind of emotions, a smile naturally spread across my face. Then the word slipped out of my mouth on its own, like an old habit returning. "Jax!" He turned his gaze toward me, and as soon as I stepped into his line of sight, I saw his expression change, as if his brain was trying to process the information. In that moment, everything around me blurred. The noise of the city, the passers-by, even the cold. All of it faded away. There was only him and me. I couldn't move for a moment, and neither could he. It was strange, all those emotions swirling inside me at once.